Okay, hey everybody, the timer is rolling, so we're running out of time. We're running out of time here on the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. Take a second, wait for everybody to arrive. I am now sending out the Canary Cry live stream alert text message. That's right. You can get on our text message alert system by texting the word Canary to 877-740-3226. Just text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. You'll get put on the list. We will be sending you a text message before every show. It's just an extra safe way to let you know that we're going live. Many populations around the world have reported that the big tech companies do not like to notify them that we are going live, even if they very specifically ask for it. That's why we have the text messages alert system. One more time, Canary to 877-740-3226, and you'll get a text message before every show letting you know we're going live, just like hundreds of people are receiving right now. And remember, you can always text us back at that number too. I'm not going to reply to you because it costs us a lot of money. But just know that what you text to that number, I will see it. I will see it and I will read it. Let's see. I'm reading some right now. This is very interesting. We've got some interesting messages coming to the text message alert system. I'm just making sure it's family friendly. Yeah, well, we've got some very nice messages from somebody giving us some very kind words. And we appreciate that. Okay. Weird pre-show vibe. Here we go. Let's get this party started, folks. Sorry about that.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
That's right. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is November 20th, 2023. And whether you like it or not, we are live to tape on episode 691. And today, Right Order Rising. And signing on from off the grid, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy Basil. And you're not crazy. I don't know what that is. It's a loopy one, folks. It's Monday, okay?
That's a weird accent, yeah. And my name is Gonz. That's Cody in the background there, director of the Age of Deceit films. Your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Yeah, we got the kids here, the whole fam. Live to tape from California to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And today's immersion phenomenon, oh man, this is just going real well today. Liberty and malice for all. What is the problem? My guy.
That's right. Well, folks, it's one of those days. Luckily, thankfully, thank the Lord, these days are fewer and far between. Recently, at least, I can't speak for the near future, but today we did have one of those ominous, sort of catastrophic technical failures over there in the Shimura household. Gonz so expertly navigated such a disaster. And here we are. It's actually very impressive that we made it onto the show. Yes, we've had all sorts of problems in the past, but we did have just sort of like a full-on meltdown of Gonz's, 10-year-old computer now?
It is a 10-year-old computer. Yes, the computer that had problems today, it's a Mac Pro late 2013. So it is literally 10,000. It's a trash can. Version. What's up, buddy? Really? Just every time I talk, huh?
It's the samurai. The samurai spirit is coming through the young boy who is ready for battle. He's ready for his first sword, Father. Let me fight, Father. I crave the blood of my enemies, Father. You cannot podcast without letting me save. Save is a word, I think. Save my lust for combat, Father.
Great, getting it for everybody. Apparently,
that's my new impression. It's my new impression of your son.
Great. I'm sure that'll go well when he's older and
I
he can listen back.
crave violence, brother. I mean, Father.
Great. He'll be confused as who his father is. He'll think it's his brother. It'll be a mess. All right.
Yeah,
before we even do the disclaimer, I do want to quickly call upon the producers.
Okay.
Producers, assemble!
Paul Washer. You know about Paul Washer, Basil? Or you know of him? He's a preacher. He's been doing a lot of great preaching for many years. And I think he's in the midst of a surgery right now. I think it's like a heart bypass surgery. It was scheduled for noon Eastern time today, which was, 3, 4, 5 hours ago now. And I think these surgeries take anywhere from 3 to 6 hours. So it's possible that he's still under the knife as we speak here. So just prayers out to the Washer family and Paul and, the doctors and everybody working on him. So there you go. Just a quick, I know it's not a very uplifting thing, but I know the producers out there can make things happen. So there you go.
That's right.
Now,
producers around the world, put it in the list or just give it a little prayer right now while we're doing prayer stuff. Might as well, since you already called the producers.
Yeah.
We are still praying for Cookie, the beloved dog of Jackie A. and family. Cookie has been doing a little better, but things are turning, and it's a long process going on right now.
Yeah.
Next stop is the oncologist. So keep Cookie, the beloved family member of Jackie A., in your prayers.
Yep. Okay. Now that we've called our listeners and viewers and followers and everybody else to pray
for the show.
How egregious that these people pray for people. We need a disclaimer to let YouTube know that we're not bad people over here.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up,
YouTube. That's right. And just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys.
Yeah, that's right. Let me give you a rundown, Gons.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. There was some weird routing issue that is plaguing me at the moment, but
somebody just asked how much processing power we need to run the show, and at least at one point, maybe you can update me, but you're running at least 3 different computers.
Well, it's
right?
it's two right now. Yeah,
two
now.
Different. Okay, so we upgraded to just needing 2 computers to do the show.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Okay. Well, I think we're good. Let's see if this works.
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
That's right. We're starting out, believe it or not, against all odds with some Argentinian politics. Of course, you've heard of it, but we'll be digging in to the, for some reason, global phenomenon that is far-right outsider Javier Milei over in Argentina, and what that spells for the West in general. But especially those listening to this show. Then, for the Flippy update, we've got a pioneering robot arm poised to reach new heights in quantum. What does that mean? There's no way of knowing. We'll explore it during the Flippy update. And then some big news, especially for this show. I know that talking about Sam Altman is just all the rage nowadays, but nobody has a record with reporting on Sam Altman like we do, and we will give you the big picture. Then at the end of the show, we've got some sewer surveillance taken to the next level. Bill Gates himself crawling around in the sewers, folks. He's taking sewer surveillance. This is not a joke.
It's not a joke.
This is
not a joke.
Literal Bill Gates crawling around in the sewers. Is it your sewers? Will he come up through the toilet while you're doing your business? I'm not going to say it's 100% impossible. That would be irresponsible of me. But first, Gons, our lead stories.
I don't even know how to transition out of that. What are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Milei, politics, politicians. Here we go.
Yeah.
Poly.
It's Latin for many.
Tick.
Now suck your blood. Now suck
Politics.
your blood.
It might be
Politics.
like a new age thing, a Trump new age type of thing too. I don't know if you have that on hand, but I was trying to think what else is going on here. And you've got quite the case for a sort of Trumpian new case, and I have quite a different case for a Trumpian new age.
We will launch a new age.
Yeah. Well,
for
there's
those.
Yeah.
Here's a quick disclaimer for the listeners.
Okay.
Because there are some people out there, this is fine. I'm not chastising those people, but Gons, we got to keep in mind there are listeners who are sort of like who really don't like it when we disagree about something.
Like you and I disagree.
Who really sort of are troubled by you and I having two different opinions on things.
Sure.
And for those people, I just want to warn them. There's a parental
discretion
advisory. I don't know.
Peaceful order discretion or something.
Yes, we're always peaceful, even when we disagree. But we're gonna have a couple different takes on this. So, gird your loins, folks.
All right. So this is coming from CNN.com. Far right outsider Javier Milei, or is it Javier? Javier Milei wins Argentina's presidency. Updated 11:33 a.m. Javier Milei won Argentina's presidential election on Sunday, wrenching his country to the right with a bombastic anti-establishment campaign that drew comparisons to that of former U.S. President Donald Trump. Wrenching
his party to the right.
All against the backdrop of one of the world's highest inflation rates.
Yeah.
Which is interesting that CNN notes the economic backdrop of his rise, which is part of the story here.
Real quick, what I think is very interesting about the mainstream legacy news perspective on this, and this matters because this is how they control our minds and the minds of your loved ones. Javier Milei wrenching his country to the right.
Oh, yeah. He's the one doing it.
Pretty weird way to say, hey, the people of his country voted him as president. Yeah. He's the president because the country has swung right. He is not swinging the country right because he became president. But that's not how the media likes to think about it. You gotta, you gotta give the credit to the evil politician that dictates and enforces that fascist everybody else to believe in things like liberty and small government. Oh, what a fascist dictator believes in small government.
Right. So it's not so much the people, the voting of Milei was a reflection of the people's sentiment. It's more so this tyrant is taking the country kind of
like he
accusation.
Took the helm and is now controlling people's minds.
Yeah.
It's a great little trick by the media there.
Yep. Talks about how his rival Sergio Massa conceded. Following his election victory, Milei told a local radio station that he will visit the U.S. and Israel before his inauguration in December. Gotta pay his dues, man.
That's very soon.
His trip to the U.S. will have, quote, a spiritual connotation since he is aiming to visit his, quote, rabbi friends, he said.
Wow.
I don't know why CNN is talking about this, but there you go. Interesting, huh?
It's so weird because I've seen so many clips of this guy, so many tweets, read so many articles about this guy.
Yeah.
And I have not seen a single outlet lay in so hard on, and he likes the Jews. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
Like,
it is
what
weird.
CNN? What
Yeah.
are you saying?
Yeah, I think they're being anti-Semitic, but
It feels like it.
yeah, well, not in the CNN cannot be anti-Semitic, but that's just reality. When asked about his schedule, Milei said that he would take a plane to the United States as opposed to what, a boat or UFO? What are we talking about here? He's going to take a plane, yeah, and then go to Tel Aviv via New York in the next few days. I mean, he's really hitting all
Very
the
specific.
capitals.
I think it's a little. I think it's a little interesting giving the exact itinerary
Yeah.
of his travel.
Yeah,
I
like
think that's
what's going to happen to him?
Seems a little inappropriate. Like, just in case anybody wants to go say hi to him, here's his exact schedule.
Quote, we discussed this yesterday with the Israeli ambassador in Argentina. He said, adding that he intends to visit the Organization of American States during his time in the U.S. Organization of American States. Is that an actual organization? It's acronymed OAS. So I don't know. Maybe
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, is this or maybe this is part of the Israeli, ambassadorship worldwide or something. I don't know.
I'll check it out.
Milei's victory marks an extraordinary rise for the former TV pundit who entered the race as a political outsider on a promise to, quote, break up with the status quo.
Okay, while you deal with the young warrior, the Organization of American States, of which I've never heard of before, is an international organization founded on the 30th of April, 1948, to promote, man, a lot happened in that year, huh? 1948, to promote cooperation among its member states within the Americas. Okay.
So it's like a foreign think tank in America?
What?
Or like a foreign-based think tank in America? Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a Western Hemisphere sort of like trilateral commission or League of Nations or something. But it is headquartered in Washington, D.C. The OAS is a multilateral regional body focused on human rights, electoral oversight, social and economic development, and security in the Western Hemisphere. Okay. Oh, according to the Council on Foreign Relations. Oh, perfect. As of November 2023, 32 states in the Americas are OAS members. So close. 32 states.
Yeah, they're waiting for the next one. Maybe Milei can be the one to, give them what they want.
Okay, you continue. I'm going to see if there's any pending applications to the OAS.
All right, so it says here is campaign. Oh, my gosh. Come on, guys. Let's get along. Hey,
By the way, folks, you can go to canarycrybabysittersclub.com. canarycrybabysittersclub.com. Sign up to support the show because you love it, number one. And you realize that because we take no money from corporations, cartels, or commies, that it is up to all of us to keep the show going. And those who join the Canary Cry Babysitters Club, by the way, there are some questions because we've had the Babysitters Club for 2 months now, and obviously we do not have the babysitter yet. Turns out nannies in Southern California are extraordinarily offensive. We're totally in the wrong business here. Offensive. That's funny. I meant to say expensive, so take that to the bank. They're extraordinarily expensive.
There goes all of our potential people there. You just offended all of them.
No. So the Babysitters Club funds are currently getting accounted for. They're in a pile to help, especially pay like the starting costs and stuff. So the support for the Canary Cry Babysitters Club is still going towards the babysitter. But because there's not many people who have supported that program, we got to save up a little bit. And that's what we're doing. So go to canarycrybabysittersclub.com. We'll get a nanny for that little samurai baby. He can quench his thirst for blood.
Yeah. The big hurdle, though, Basil, is, nannies usually require a schedule. And you and I are really bad with scheduling.
You know what? No, I reject that pessimism about our schedule. We have been, in the past couple of months, extraordinarily good.
We have been. You're right.
We have been our early day schedule. There's been a few exceptions, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But for us, our schedule the past couple of months I've been very impressed.
Well, you're right.
So
you're right. I don't mean to undermine our progress in that
baby
regard.
steps.
But
Baby
yes,
steps.
there are there are multiple things that we're juggling there. But okay, let's go back to Milei here. I think we've tamed the children for a moment. Okay,
quick,
quick,
Analyze
get
the
it
news.
in.
The babies are down.
It says here his campaign promised to dollarize Argentina, which is an interesting
Great, good.
way to if enacted, is expected to thrust the country into new territory. No country of Argentina's size has previously turned over the reins of its own monetary policy to Washington decision makers. I thought that was an interesting. Okay, the size of Argentina, but I mean, if we're talking about true economic stronghold, the Washington, or at least the U.S. dollar, is pretty ubiquitously, the all powerful money in the world right now. Shortly after the results, I know it's breaking apart a little bit, and that's the whole point here. Shortly after the results were announced, Milei was greeted by cheers and thunderous applause. There's some footage of him running around on stage. I don't know if you saw that, Basil, but it was like a rock concert, typical getting the crowd riled up. So, okay, we can break into more of his stuff. We'll get a couple quotes here. Milei, a social conservative with ties to the American right, opposes abortion rights and is called climate change.
Hold on, because I don't want to miss this, and I want to comment on what you're saying.
Uh-huh.
But the Organization of American States,
Yeah.
as of November 2023, has 32 states.
Yes.
I have on the OAS.org website.
Yeah.
We have. No, sorry. This is Los Angeles Times headline. Nicaragua leaves Organization of American States.
Okay, so they was 33
away from democracy. So they had 33 members of the Organization of American States, but Nicaragua has signaled the downfall of the occult power being sought by the Organization of American States. That's a very interesting detail.
Yeah. Well, maybe they need to find a replacement. And they got to find the next state to bring it back to 33.
Well, exactly.
Or it's the signaling of the deconstruction. It's like let's begin to untie everything so we can hit the reset button fully.
Yeah.
Milei, a social conservative with ties to the American right, opposes abortion rights and has called climate change a quote lie of socialism. I mean, yeah, he's not wrong about that. He has promised to slash government spending by closing Argentina's ministries of culture, education, and diversity by eliminating public subsidies. We do have a clip of this. It is in Spanish, but I think it's worth playing. I mean, we're an international show. I will help you in just a second, buddy. Yeah, here's Milei. Okay.
We're working on training this child to know that he doesn't get attention when daddy's working.
Yeah, he's not working.
Give that kid an iPad or a VR.
Equipo y deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera.
Are you not going to say what he's saying here for the listeners?
Ministry of Sports and Tourism.
Yes, he's going down the line. He's got a list of the bureaucratic nonsense in his country, much like the U.S. And he's going down the line, and he's ripping their little sign off the wall, and he's listing the government organizations that he is going to abolish as soon as he is, allegedly, as soon as he is confirmed.
Right. And he's going through Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Environmental and Sustainable Development. And obviously those are the buzzwords of the UN. So he's going up against the whole thing there. And he goes on and on here, Ministry of Women and Genders Diversity, and so forth. So, yeah, it's a fun clip to watch because he's so flamboyant. It's kind of like a South American Trump. I can see how.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. He's mega South American Trump. Now, this guy's been known. We've been saying, by the way, he's got the hair and everything. He obviously is playing the right game for what's going on in the world today. And this does bring up the question, it brings up a few questions, but just so you know, he's got the amazing hair. He's got like the 2012 pop punk kind of skateboarder haircut, very long, very floppy, reminds all of us very much of Gons from the early college times, and this man is absolutely bonkers. And just like you'd expect from a Southern American Trump, I mean, he does not pull any punches. He is vulgar. He does not shy away from speaking disrespectfully to liberals or about liberals, and he does not apologize for anything that he says or does. And this is exactly what worked for Trump before, and it's exactly what's working for Trump right now. And so, we've had a few South American Trumps pop up. Notably, I believe it was Bolsonaro in Brazil. I could be.
I think that was the opposite. I mean, Bolsonaro might have been the guy, but I think he was voted out, wasn't he? I'm trying to remember.
Well,
we had Jam
he was the
giving us all
Trump
the
of
stuff.
Brazil, got the Trump of America treatment.
Right. But he got voted. I mean, he got kicked. Well, yeah, right. So it was like the 2020 thing where he was voted out, and there was like a big
it was a
liberal,
whole thing. It was
liberal
a whole
movement.
big story.
Yeah.
But yes, I think it was Bolsonaro. But the point is that the Trump thing,
The archetype,
yeah. Right? It's very interesting. A chaos wizard like Donald Trump,
yeah,
popping up in the U.S. It is not just an American phenomenon. Now, you can argue that, of course, America's number one export is culture and media, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make anything in the U.S. except for basically American culture, which is not a great export right now. So you could probably try to lay some blame on Trump for his little international counterparts showing up, but boy, oh boy, do other countries love their own Trumps, and it's very interesting.
Well, it does appear to be a time when this sort of movement again. The longer this goes on, the more I'm kind of again just expressing the whole problem reaction solution type of Hegelian model, where you present, you make illogical things mainstream, gender stuff, all kinds of the progressive liberalism and Democrat stuff. Make all that mainstream, and then it doesn't take much when I say it doesn't take much, it doesn't take a whole lot of thinking to tear that down. So it's like basic logic. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna export that social justice, whatever culture, other places, it's going to naturally breed its opposite. It reminds me of a quote that I've been hearing in regards to Israel and Palestine. People are trying to use to justify all sorts of horrible things.
Sure, yeah.
The term terrorism is the price of empire. So they are just sort of like linked hand in hand.
Yeah.
And if you think of, the American empire includes a lot of things. It includes, global corporatism and stuff like that. But really, the American culture being dispersed upon the face of the earth is its own kind of cultural empire.
Yeah.
And someone specifically, I wouldn't even say on the left, but somebody who is a fan or supporter of the establishment, big T, big E, the establishment, would consider any sort of Trump character a terrorist. So you have terrorism being the price of empire if they are going to try to colonize, to use their words, colonize the world with this American social justice, equity, hullabaloo. You're going to naturally breed terrorism.
Yeah.
And I have not heard a lot of people sort of discuss it in those terms, but boy, oh boy, that's what I'm here for. Put me on another episode of a podcast and I'll just rant about it.
So the one of the things, I don't know that this has caught on yet. I think this morning some people who have been, who are stoked about Javier Milei's election in the U.S. In terms of people in the U.S. and the West reacting to it.
Dude, the U.S. is out of their minds.
I know
for
they're
this
stoked.
guy.
Yeah, I know they're stoked. Yeah, this has been brewing for a while. I think somebody, who was it? Was it Hillary Clinton? Was it? I forget who it was. It was somebody high up who talked about Milei as like, similar to, Trump, tyrant type of person we must get rid of, and blah 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 blah. That was a few weeks ago. So sure, this was brewing, but people are recognizing now that Javier Gerardo Milei does have a little bio on the World Economic Forum website under the People tab. And this is causing quite the conversation. Again, I don't know that it has caught on with the larger generic truth sort of faction or whatever you want to call it. But, it's just to throw another wrench in the discussion here, because people are stoked about him. But then why is he profiled on the WEF? And then as I was talking to you about it, Basil, you think this is like a Vivek move where the World Economic Forum, I mean, this guy's obviously has his degrees and everything in economics. He's been on Argentinian TV doing economic commentary for many years. So it's not like he's completely, just out of nowhere completely. But what are your thoughts? Do you think this is like a hit piece on Javier?
So there's kind of two sides of this. On one hand, there's the conversation that you were talking about and felt strongly about before the show, which is, and totally possible, by the way, that this is some sort of WEF orchestration.
Well, I wasn't quite saying it was WEF particularly, but it is an orchestration nevertheless, was my argument. But yeah, continue.
I hear you. So, and some people said the same thing about Trump. They've said, the same thing about a lot of candidates around the world or presidents around the world, that it is possible that, this is just another step in the New World Order, World Economic Forum plan to create chaos that can then be solved by, utopian fascism. That's totally possible. But you kind of got to buy into the idea that Trump was orchestrated as well. Now, the fact that he shows up on the World Economic Forum website, this has been an interesting ongoing topic for researchers, specifically people trying to follow what's going on, trying to uncover the secrets, blah, 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 because World Economic Forum website includes lots of politicians, whether you like them or not. The ones that are most sort of egregious are the ones that are listed specifically as young global leaders, people like Justin Trudeau and the like, which, is a good sort of representation. You look at Trudeau, he's kind of matches up, of course, with the World Economic Forum ideology. But then there's weird ones that get put on the list, like who was it? Vivek Ramaswamy. This was a big conversation in Vivek's sort of beginning of his candidacy, was people going, he was perfectly, just a perfect performance for the sort of liberty-minded, kind of libertarian, kind of anti-establishment. I mean, he basically did the perfect calculations to become the non-Trump pick.
Especially, as the primaries began, he was clearly the sort of the proxy Trump in a sense.
And this is even more bolstered by the fact that the establishment hates him. The news media, the legacy news media, they're coming out with kind of the same stuff that they came out about Trump with. I mean, Vivek has not been blessed by the establishment really in any way. Now, could that be an act? Maybe. But the point, to get to the point, Vivek Ramaswamy sued the World Economic Forum, took legal action against them. And it turns out that they had put him on their website. The reasons are unknown, but they were the ones who just kind of popped him on there, possibly to sabotage him.
Possibly, yeah. He was a young global leader, I think, was one of the entry point for Vivek.
Was he a young global leader? I think he was very similar to Javier Gerardo Milei in that it just was sort of a nondescript page with not even really a bio, no information. We saw this with who's the gal from Hawaii? Somebody help me. I don't know.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about, and I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah,
she's very popular. Everybody likes her. They think she's very pretty.
Yeah, it's okay. Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that was another one. I think she was a young global leader, and that doesn't really line up with the way she presents herself politically. But in the same way, you have Javier Gerardo Milei, chief economist, Corporación America Internacional, and he has this very strange, nondescript, sort of random little side page on the World Economic Forum. There's no labels like young global leaders. There's no write-up about his participation. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just sort of thrown up hastily and really ineffectively onto the website.
So the Vivek story, just real quickly, he was listed as a young global leader in 2021. That's what started his whole thing. So 2021 was the year. Now, I did look up Javier Gerardo Milei when in the archives anyway. Did anybody archive this page? What's the earliest archive you can find? Guess what year, Basil? Just take a wild guess. What year, Basil?
2020?
No, 2016.
Oh, that was my second guess.
Yeah, June or April. April of 2016 is the first archived version of this particular page. So he's been
that is interesting.
He's been on the radar for the World Economic Forum for quite a while, and obviously, again, he wrote economy stuff. He was an economist, so the World Economic Forum sort of creating a profile,
an involved economist.
Yeah, so it wouldn't make it's not that surprising that the World Economic Forum would have a little thing on a guy who's doing economics out there. But but it is interesting that he would, he was always, as far as I understand, had always been an Austrian economist, and then it was the 2010s where he really started to be vocal about being anti-establishment and things of that nature. And I think so, not just the World Economic Forum, Basil, but I really think that in a wider scope here, the patterns I'm seeing emerge is one of clear, because part of Klaus's thing is the Great Reset, right? And part of the Great Reset has to do with the economy, World Economic Forum. The economy is the fuel for everything, for war, for all of the activities that go on, control, everything. And so it's interesting to me that we've been having more or less a populist libertarian movement in the last 10 years, right? I mean, if we're really talking about culturally, Trump really galvanized it, made it sort of put a face on it, but for the last 10 years, at least the Western countries at large, I don't know about totality, but a lot of people have been pushing back against the progressive establishment and creating this populist movement.
I'd say 10 years might be a little too long, but I hear what you're saying. At least since 2016. At
least since 2016. So, I mean, maybe we feel like it's been longer because I feel like we were part of that anyway in its earlier stages, and then it became something that we couldn't recognize anymore. But but one common thread with all these guys, we got Bukele in Ecuador. Couple years ago, he was the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender and the whole deal. The IMF was like, hey, we're going to stop funding you if you do that. And then Bukele said, forget you. We're just going to keep doing it. And then nothing bad has happened. Just, a huge growth in Ecuador and its economy. We have Vivek running here. He's pro Bitcoin. RFK Jr. comes out. He's pro Bitcoin. BlackRock comes out. They're starting to be quote unquote pro Bitcoin as far as, the ETFs and everything. So it's just the timing of everything is strange to me. If BlackRock is getting into Bitcoin and then all of a sudden right around the exact same year, 2023 is the year that a bunch of libertarian leaning politicians come out and talk about how we're going to fix the economic system. I'm sorry, but I'm just a little skeptical. I'm not saying that the movements aren't genuine. The people aren't genuine. And the sentiment isn't real. I do think it's real. But in terms of where it's being steered, I just have my doubts. And I'm not, again, it could be a very prosperous thing for a little while, but it may end bad. The right wing may have its day in the sun, but it might crash and burn pretty bad.
Well, we talk about the pendulum swinging, and this is just a law of politics as much as a law of physics. It happens no matter what way the wind is blowing. There is a pendulum swinging, and it swings back and forth, and sometimes at different speeds. But we saw the I don't know, impressive momentum for really radical leftism in the U.S. here the past few years, especially. And now we've been watching the pendulum swing to the right. And of course, the pendulum swings further and further each time it makes a pass.
Yeah, it gains momentum.
And the real risk here is you have sort of a global consensus, a populism that develops as a moment in history where libertarianism is prevalent and socially acceptable for once, and in power. But you think of the pendulum swinging the other way, and really with the degree to which we're swinging into libertarianism, not without a fight, of course, the sort of equal swing, or the logical next step, is to swing all the
really
way
far
from
left
libertarianism to authoritarianism.
Yeah.
We're talking real fascism, not a bunch of college kids marching down the street saying everybody's fascist. We're talking about real fascist authoritarianism, and the worst kind, which is leftist fascist authoritarianism. I don't know how long that will take. I know a lot of people are throwing out the year 2027 for a lot of different things. So I don't know. I might take the hints and try to figure stuff out before 2027, folks.
Yeah. And just to kind of wrap up the conversation about Milei, he is pro-Ukraine because he is so anti-communist that he's anti-Russia. And so he is pro-Ukraine in that regard. And he is pro-Israel, as mentioned in the CNN article. But I do have this JTA.org article from yesterday. Javier Milei, right-wing economist with a passion for Judaism, is elected president of Argentina. He's a colorful right-wing anarcho-capitalist. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? They're calling him an anarcho-capitalist.
That's what I'm talking about.
Who has said he would like to convert to Judaism. Was elected president of Argentina on Sunday. I just thought it was an interesting detail that CNN didn't get into. I mean, CNN talked about, his rabbi friends and spiritual. JTA.org just explicitly saying he wants to convert to Judaism. So, if you want to throw another sort of wrench in the entire conversation of what's happening in Israel and the people of Palestine, if you want to talk about who belongs to the land and the history and the war and the diaspora and the biblical times and it's just this humongous rabbit trail, you get a guy who converts to Judaism and becomes like a dual citizen of Israel or something, or maybe not. That's probably too much, but it's an interesting move that there is all this happening in the Middle East, and a candidate wins that has that sentiment there.
I think that's part of what makes this guy so compelling for Argentinians, because it's actually a genius move. Now, you can say pro-Ukraine and still be against the U.S. sending all of our money there.
Sure.
That's kind of an unfortunate mind control device of the media. Pro-Ukraine, pro-Israel. You can be pro-Ukraine and pro-Israel without wanting to send your country's entire piggy bank there.
Right.
But anywho, I think that's what makes him so compelling, is sort of the, whatever you're into, you can attach to him. I mean, if you don't like the libertarianism, if you don't like the, anti-bureaucracy state, if you don't like the, him tearing down and minimizing the government of Argentina, well, hey, he's pro-Ukraine, so come on, hey,
get stoked.
And at the same time, being pro-Israel, being pro-Ukraine and pro-Israel right now, we are led to believe, we are mind controlled into thinking that you can't
be both, right?
because they're completely opposite as far as, the unfortunate hypocrisy of American politics is concerned. Being pro-Ukraine and pro-Israel is like impossible. It's a conundrum. It's an enigma. But I think that's what makes guys like this so compelling.
Well, there are some people on the fringes who believe that Ukraine is part of the Israel expansion project. So there's that.
Interesting stuff there.
Yeah, there's interesting stuff. We won't dive into it here, but at least we'll keep an eye. The world is changing, Basil. The players, the characters that are being presented to us are changing along with it, and we'll just keep track. I think it's just important in general to be a little, that skeptical eye, the half open eye with all politicians, regardless of whether they're saying things you agree with or not. So there you go.
Well, I will say to all of our Argentinian listeners, of which we do have some.
Yeah. I'm sure it's a great day for them, especially if it means economic, shift or a change of direction in the way the economy is established. Although, again, dollarizing Argentina doesn't sound like a great plan, but okay.
Have fun with it. Have fun with it, Argentinians. And I mean that sincerely. The details of what's to come in your near future are sort of clouded for me. I could never guess exactly how this is going to work out. I hope it works out well, but at the very least, and trust me, because we've gone through it, you're going to have an entertaining few years. If nothing else, just watch the show, get your popcorn, and hang on for the ride of your life.
And the true magic trick here is MAGA, M-A-G-A, also works for Make Argentina Great Again. Isn't that great? It's such a great tagline for the magicians that, you can just use it for Make America Great. Any country with A, watch out. You might get MAGA'd. Angola, look out. Let's look out for the Angolan Trump.
I will.
I know. Boots on the ground. Let's go. Let's keep an eye. What other country?
Very interesting.
Oh, Antarctica.
Okay, folks.
Yeah.
No, Gons, it's time. It's time you let everybody know what day it is.
Oh, okay. It is. Yeah. What day is it?
Gary, what day is it? Monday. Woo. Monday. Monday.
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Yeah, that's right. It's Monday, folks. Do not be dismayed. It's going to be a great week, especially because you're starting it off with a little Canary Grind News Talk. And let's see here. Did you have anything interesting going on over the weekend, Guns? Anything notable to bring inspiration and peace to our listeners?
Other than fire trucks, yeah, I'm pretty much stuck making fire trucks or drawing fire trucks or.
Wow.
Yeah, it's always about fire trucks.
Pretty incredible over there. I love it.
Do you like fire trucks? Yes. Okay, I'm going to go work on some fire trucks while you talk to the people, Basil, just for a moment.
Yep, sounds good. My goodness, folks. My goodness. Yes. So I just had a quick, I don't have any big news that would interest anybody, but mostly because my weekend nowadays is pretty much entirely spent doing administrative work for the Supply Drop and the T-Shirt Council. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, I'm getting better at spreadsheets, folks. Now, hopefully the Lord will bring us an angel from heaven to help us out with that a little bit. But until then, a lot of you here's the thing. Here's the good news. If anybody is looking for good news, a lot of people's Supply Drop and T-Shirt Council subscriptions were interrupted for other reasons besides them canceling it. We're finding this out, that because of Stripe and PayPal's sort of protocols, a lot of people got taken off the list because lots of different reasons, all the way from people's card expiring or fraud detection or something like that, all the way down to something simple, like their zip code was wrong or something. So this is an encouragement to everybody. If you believe that you are a Canary Cry supply dropper or a Canary Cry T-shirt council member, it might be worth checking your card, checking your PayPal, stuff like that to make sure it's going. Now, I emailed a lot of people personally. So the chances are that you're totally fine if you did not receive an email from me. Now, maybe that email goes to spam. Maybe that email, goes in the junk folder. Maybe that email never makes it to you. That's always possible. So this is why I'm letting everybody know. Just to be safe, go ahead, search your email from an email for me. canarycryradio@gmail.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to text. But the good news is there's a light at the end of the tunnel, folks. I think we've got a better system. We've got a better, I think our list is getting pretty close to perfect, and just in time, because the quarter three, the third quarter Canary Cry supply drop, I believe is gonna it's either starting to be in the mail today or very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that. T-shirt council members, I've not sent the poll yet, so stay tuned. Just don't panic. The T-shirt council members will be getting an email from me soon. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, thank you for sticking through it. The Canary Cry Supply Drop is a program that we have here at the Value for Value model, where you say, you know what, this show brings me so much value. I'm going to commit to producing the show for $33.33 per month. Ooh, yeah, it's fun. It's fun to steal their own messaging numbers and use it for our revolutionary value for value model. Well, that's just $2.77 per episode. So if you get $2.77 per episode worth of value, and it's within your means, of course, go to canarycrysupply.com and sign up. You'll be supporting the show. We only exist because people putting value back in. We don't also participate in mind control by gaining your trust and attention and then selling that to corporations for our personal gain. We just can't do it on principle. It's hard having principles, folks. I'll tell you what, anybody out there who's ever had a principle, sticking to that principle can be painful, and it certainly is over here, but we just can't do it. We can't take money from corporations.
It's not hard to have principles. It's hard to stick to principles.
Hard to to live those.
It's hard to
principles.
execute. Yeah,
exactly. So if you want to sign up for the Canary Cry Supply Drop as a gift to you for supporting the show, we'll be sending you a package every quarter filled with custom-made, artist-designed, producer-produced Canary Cry gear. My gosh, the variety of stuff going out in the supply drop is simply astonishing. We have people aghast every quarter. Like, how did you possibly think of this product to sell me? I can't believe it. It's a treasure. And I have a very cool story to tell. The Canary Cry Challenge Coin. If y'all got the challenge coin, I believe it was in maybe the first supply drop. The copper coin that we designed for those very special producers that you received. People were using them to identify each other at meetups. People were carrying them around for all sorts of reasons. I got a message randomly on our Instagram account from somebody who received a Canary Cry Challenge coin as part of their tip at their job. And I'm like, and they actually looked at it, found us on the internet, and sent me a message to tell them that they received it. And the person was a coin collector. So he was like, what in the world? He took an interest in it and sent us a message. And he was like, hey, what is this? Do you know anything about this? I'm like, yes, that's a very special challenge coin that we sent to our producers. And, got to kind of talk about the value for value model and give props to our producers. And he's like, oh, wow, he was actually kind of honored that he had it. Fun part, when he saw it, he has a friend who I think told him about the show or something. He knew about the show when he saw it, but hadn't listened. It maybe tuned in a long time ago, something like that. But after hearing about the Canary Cry Challenge coin and what we're up to, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna check out the show. I'm gonna get at it." I'm like, "Wow, that's great. That's a great example of supply drop producers passing it forward with the challenge coin." And I just want whoever out there to know that you left the challenge coin as a tip at a restaurant. It made it to this guy, and he's checking out the show. It actually worked. So, yeah, so kudos to whoever did that. I mean, it's a cool coin. Not everybody's going to want to give it up, but I'm happy to say that whoever gave up this challenge coin accomplished their mission. So thank you for that.
There you go.
Okay, so there's that. Go to canarycrysupply.com. It really helps us out. We still have quite a ways to go on our goal to get the nanny set up for the show so we don't have to listen to screaming children, which we love. We love and brings an authentic flavor to the show.
Yeah.
canarycrysupply.com. And also, there's canarycrytshirtcouncil.com. Maybe the supply drop, maybe 33 is like a little bit too much for your budget and stuff like that. We totally understand. There is the Canary Cry T-shirt Council that for the support of $19.84 per month. That's right, $19.84. Look at these clever boys making T-shirts. If you support the show in the amount of $19.84, go to canarycrytshirtcouncil.com. You will become a part of the most illustrious secret society in the history of humanity. That's right, a small, powerful group of elite Canarians who are in charge of choosing what this quarter's Canary Cry T-shirt will be, and then they receive it in the mail. So not only do they get cool stuff, but they are also masters of the universe. They're the ones deciding. That's right. They're the ones deciding the destiny of the T-shirts for this month, and they also get to wear it, which is cool. So go to canarycrytshirtcouncil.com. The third quarter poll, the poll for this last quarter, is coming up in a day or two. So if you want to get in on this quarter, go sign up now. canarycrytshirtcouncil.com. Okay, I think I used all of our time, Gons. So let's thank some executive producers.
Executive producers.
Yeah, like I said, we're on the value for value model, which means we take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels. No, we are entirely funded by people who get value from this show. Those people are called producers because that's exactly what they are. And it's a paradigm shift for the economics of the kingdom as we are moving into a cycle, a historical cycle of economic upset and upheaval. The whole world is reconsidering what economics, especially global economics, looks like. And here we believe that it is kingdom economics that any value. It's up to you. If the producers want it to continue, they will produce the show. If nobody gets any value from this show, nobody will produce it, and the show will end. It's very simple. We don't have any corporations, no necro-capitalistic corporations keeping this show alive for the benefit of corporations. Now, the executive producers, they're people who come in and they support the show in the amount of $100 or more for any individual episode. And we have some executives we're going to thank right now, Gons.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Talking to me or your jingle board?
No, I was talking to you. I was saying, let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, you don't want to play the jingle?
Oh, do we always play the jingle?
Yeah, the executive producer jingle.
I already played it.
Huh. It didn't come through to me.
Okay, well,
but okay.
Here it is again.
Executive producers.
Oh, yeah, that jingle. I remember that jingle. Okay, here we go. We're going to thank our first executive producer. He's the one, the only. You know him. You love him. You can't get enough of him. Executive producer, Sir Alex Protocol, V2 Knight of the Berean Protocol. Yep, here he is, folks. He comes in with $100 and 33 cents. And I think I might need to double check this.
32. Isn't this 32?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is his 236th episode supporting the show in a row.
Oh, yeah, Streakalicious.
And he continues to lead Canary Cry history with a 32 episode executive streak.
Yeah, I'm realizing Sir Alex Protocol V2 Knight of the Berean Protocol might have to be his honoring of becoming an executive master shill might happen next Monday because of a couple of absent episodes.
The schedule for this week.
Yeah, we'll do it later. But yeah,
that's okay. That's okay. It's delayed gratification.
Yeah,
it's good for him and it's good for us. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Sir Alex Protocol V2 Knight of the Berean Protocol.
Where'd you find this?
And next up, we have a wonderful executive producer who came in during last episode's episode, but we love her all the same. This is executive producer Dame Maureen, Lady of the Appalachian Hills, House of the Fountain of Living Water.
Dame Maureen, thank you very much.
Yeah, came in for $133.
Ooh. Yeah. Very generous. Thank you.
It's very nice, very generous. Thank you very much, Dame Maureen. I did not see a note from Dame Maureen, but if there is one and we missed it, I will be happy to make good on it next episode. Thank you very much, Dame Maureen.
Yeah,
that means a lot.
Yeah.
Where'd you find this?
Now, sorry, this break is a little bit pitch heavy. I apologize for that very much, but it's a very short list of producers today, so I think maybe I should just zoom through it. Okay. We got producers that came in under the executive producer amount, but we love them just the same. We'll start it out with producer Amy.
Amy. Thank you very much, producer
Amy B. Amy B comes in with $77.77.
Wow.
7 times. It's a fanny pack full of sevens.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for sevens. I should have some kind of jingle thing for seven, but I don't.
It's really amazing that we don't have a 777 jingle.
A lot of, we can't have every number, I suppose, but yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a big one.
That's a big one, yeah.
Now, I did not get a note from Amy, but in searching for a note from Amy, I saw Amy has been in contact with us since 2014.
Wow.
Yeah. Old timer. We got old timer Amy. And so we appreciate that very, very much. We have emails going back almost 10 years from Amy.
Yeah. We've been around, I guess, for a little while.
Yeah.
I realized that the other day too. I was looking for a message and I just happened to go into Facebook Messenger, which I never do. And I was scrolling through because I was looking for a message from 10 years ago. And, man, we've come across a lot of people and I felt really bad. I'm like, oh, I have not responded to a lot of people that messaged me on Facebook. I just didn't like Facebook, so I didn't spend a lot of time there. But yeah, we've been around.
Been around.
Been around for a while.
We've been everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm realizing at this exact moment, it was a different Amy B from 2014.
Oh, okay.
But this Amy B was sending us stuff in 2020. So it came in.
There you go.
Came in 2020.
All right. Thank you, Amy B.
Thank you, Amy B. All right. And of course, we have Sir Jacob coming in.
Sir Jacob. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Jacob. A brand new knight of the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. And if I could use my VR hands with any amount of dexterity or competence, I would already have his official knight name, but now I do. It's Sir Jacob Highline Haas, Knight of the Issachar Pursuit. Thank you, Sir Jacob. Came in with a nice round number, I believe. And what is this? Oh, I think he's on a 2-episode streak.
That is a fine streak.
Yeah, you know what? I lied. He came in for 11-11.
Oh, there you go.
11-11.
And he has a little note here. Says, going back to the idea y'all teased of a CCR 10-year anniversary conference. If you do hold it anywhere in Texas, I can promise my full attendance and participation. Let's go.
Ooh, people getting pumped.
Hey, you know what? There's been a little bit more talk about a live event, a conference, if you will, recently. I've been in contact sort of, unfortunately, not somebody in Texas, but somebody who has all the interest and all the infrastructure to host a true like Canary Cry summer camp type thing with a petting zoo and everything.
Ooh, petting zoos.
So there's talks going on, folks. If you're interested in this, show us your support. Send us a message or something. Okay. That concludes the list of financial producers who came in the amount of $7.77 or more, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. We got some people who came in under that amount, and we're going to thank them for their streakage right now, starting with Dr. Who Done Dat, 29 episodes in a row.
Thank you, Dr. Who Done Dat.
Sir Moore of Night of the Burning Chariots, 300 episodes in a row.
Hey, we gotta do a thing there. Okay, so he's
Oh yeah, streakalicious.
300.
300.
You did it, Sir Moore. Congratulations. Big day.
Thank you very much, Sir Morv.
Got Veronica D, 330 episodes in a row.
Ooh, got some
333.
Yeah, got some people coming up on those milestones.
Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, 354.
Thank you.
We got Dame Gale, Canary Whisperer, and Lady of X's and O's, 325.
There you go. Thank you, Dame Gale.
We got Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
369 episodes in a row.
Whoa,
Thank you, Sir Casey.
369 on 3. No, we're at 691. Never mind.
Yeah.
I tried to do some number math, but it didn't quite pan out.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Thank
you to everybody who put some value back into the show. We really appreciate it. We literally would not exist without you. And someday, if you all disappear, we will cease to exist. It's all up to the producers whether this show exists or doesn't. And that is just the price we pay for not participating in corporate mind control on those who give us their trust and attention.
Yep.
If you're interested in producing the show with your time, your talent, or your treasure, you can go to canarycry.support.
Canarycry.support.
Okay. Should we get back to the show?
Let's
talk about some robots.
Some quantum flippy.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
Just quantum. Wow, was that a quantum jingle?
Yeah, we've had it for a while. Marty B.
Oh, yeah. I missed it. Yes, it's the Flippy update, folks. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, flirting with our spouses, and apparently splitting our atoms. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world. And there's nothing we can do about it. Today's Flippy update comes from phys.org. And the headline, Pioneering Robot Arm Poised to Reach New Heights in Quantum.
Quantum has height? Height is a dimension in quantum?
No, they're trying to do a little wordplay, some
okay,
physics nerd wordplay here, because quantum means very, very, very small. But reaching new heights, this
Tower of Babel. It's a Tower of Babel reference. Continue.
I think you're right. What has been high shall be made low. Scientists carrying out quantum research will be able to do so faster and more adaptably, thanks to a new robotic arm which could hold the key to major breakthroughs. Here it is, Gons. The robots hold the key. They are the gatekeepers. They are the key masters.
Well, there's an angel that has a key to the bottomless pit, so maybe it's God's robot. Angels are God's robots. That's a problem.
What is the bottomless pit if not an interdimensional quantum gate?
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't know. That is what it is. The invention, developed by researchers in quantum engineering technology labs and the Bristol Robotics Laboratory at the University of Bristol, has a unique design allowing quantum experiments to be conducted with unprecedented levels of speed, detail, and complexity. Oh, thank goodness. Quantum technology has a host of potential real-world applications, from health advances in monitoring the condition of cells to communication in space. Experiments in quantum often require highly constrained environments, sometimes combining ultra-low temperatures, atomic scale. The laser beams, Gons. By
You cut out
building
for a second.
robotic
Sorry, I
features
couldn't hear you. I just
Oh.
heard you come in with laser beams. So I did not hear what you said
Laser
before that.
beams.
Yeah.
By building robotic features into quantum experiments, scientists will now be able to investigate these experiments and increase prototyping speed, control, and robustness. Ooh, the robust robot. The research findings and robotic arm were presented in the journal Advanced Science. Lead author Dr. Joe Smith, not a real guy.
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith.
Is
That sounds like a robot was trying to invent a fake doctor. So right off the bat, I don't buy it, but okay. Lead author Dr. Joe Smith, beep, bap, bap, Dr. Joe Smith, senior research associate in the School of Electrical, Electronic, and Mechanical Engineering at the University of Bristol, said, quote, "We couldn't have performed this experiment using standard lab components. So we needed to look into robotics. We've shown that robotic arms are mature enough to navigate very complex settings."
Ah, there it is. Look at Flippy all grown up.
All grown up. Started flipping burgers, and now he's got his
flipping
GED
molecules
and is working in this lab. I think that's a funny way to put it, Mr. Joe Smith.
You're from flipping burgers to flipping protons.
There you go. Quote, "We're very keen for this technology to improve all sorts of quantum sensing experiments, and hopefully leading to these experiments leaving the quantum optics lab and find further useful applications like in cell diagnostics. Dr. Smith and his team were inspired by the way robots are being increasingly used in surgery as they blah, blah, blah." Okay. The high-strength magnet the robot holds can be positioned anywhere in three-dimensional space. Whoa! The robot can hold a magnet in 3 dimensions. Quantum physics, bro. At any angle, navigating around obstacles using tools such as electrodes, lasers, and mirror surfaces, robotics arms could facilitate more precise alignment and manipulation for various experimental setups. So we all know the quantum world, the frontier of the unknown to human minds, possibly the key to every question we've ever had regarding the nature of reality, the secret to everlasting life, the transhuman utopian holy scripture of reality, quantum mechanics, is now, thanks to mature robotic arms, things will be done that will never be done before. I think there's a huge implication here, again, for the propaganda, the public mindset about robots, allowing them into their hearts, their minds, and their kitchens. That's the implication that humans will unlock the secrets of reality only because of these robotic arms. We would not have, temporal visors and, healing lasers and, the ability to bring the dead back to life if it weren't for these robots. Put that robot on a flag and pledge your allegiance, folks, because that's what's coming.
Well, it's not just a robot. In this particular case, the robot arm being the really important part of this.
All about the arm.
Yeah, it's almost robotics don't even exist without the arm. So
Not only is the robotic arm a symbol of the potential that robots have to improve human life, the robot arm is also a symbol of the weakness of humans and the reliance that the elite transhumanist technocrats would like us to put our faith in the robots. And it's not very far away, Gons, I'll tell you what.
not very. It's here. It's been here. This is why we have a whole segment.
Look around
on the
you.
show.
You're in it.
Yeah. Well,
that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
that's it for the Flippy update, folks. Look out for portals opening to other dimensions. There might just be a burger flipping robot near you.
I don't know if that's good or bad. If he's just flipping burgers, I wouldn't be too afraid. He's flipping human meat burgers.
Burgers.
Or quantum burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can't have intelligence behind these robot arms without artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
You want to destroy humans?
Okay, I will destroy humans.
Uh-oh. What happened there? Oh, I thought that was a longer jingle.
She destroyed humans.
It's over. Are we in post-death here?
Bow down to the orb.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, this is a WorldCoin adjacent story, and we'll get to why this is troubling for the WorldCoin angle of things.
No debate. You must have digital ID, and you must bow down to the orb.
We're going to start off with this article from Wired.com. The headline here: OpenAI staff threaten to quit unless board resigns. And
solidarity.
The big story over the weekend, of course, is Sam Altman being pushed out of OpenAI, which is interesting. The company behind ChatGPT. Yeah, the godfather of AI.
Of AI getting kicked out of his own company. Now, just right off the bat, this is actually very very impactful in regards to the mythology of the American corporate religion.
Yeah.
Because all of the greats have been kicked out of their companies. They start a company, they co-found whatever, and when they get kicked out, it's like this martyrdom. It's this very powerful turning point, both in their career, but also our mythology of these corporate gods, basically, little g gods. I mean, Steve Jobs getting ousted from Apple. You've got Elon Musk getting ousted from all sorts of things. This is like part of the corporate religious scripture. It's very interesting to watch if you look at it in that sort of game of gods, re-enchanted worldview.
Yeah. It says here, OpenAI was an open revolt on Monday with more than 600 employees signing an open letter threatening to leave unless the board resigns and reinstates Sam Altman as CEO, along with co-founder and former president Greg Brockman. Altman was controversially fired by the board on Friday. So this was all, being reported and what's Sam going to do? What's going to happen? There was some rumblings about Elon's going to bring, Sam over to Grok and all this kind of stuff. But, and the details of how this happened, why this happened, and, you got people on the board, you can break down their connection to the sort of the liberal order, the progressivism and, Silicon Valley and that whole culture. And so it's not really that surprising. What he did, like what the offense was that got him fired, is, of course, still sort of open to interpretation. What was reported was that he wasn't transparent with the board, whatever that means. Now, before kind of jumping into I guess the story is that he got fired from OpenAI. And then the story is also over the weekend or yesterday that Microsoft picked him up like a free agent in sports. A guy gets kicked out of a team or something and some other team is like, oh, we'll take you. That's kind of what happened. So,
yeah. Which is interesting for a few reasons.
Many reasons.
But one very interesting reason is, Sam Altman started OpenAI in 2015.
Yep.
And it started as a nonprofit and they were like, hey, we're a nonprofit. We're going to sort of like responsibly guard the possibilities of OpenAI so it doesn't kill everybody. And then in 2019, they restructured everything to a little bit more of a corporate model. And that opened the door to billions of dollars. Microsoft actually was and is basically the largest investor
billions
in
of dollars.
Sam Altman.
Was it 10 billion, something like that?
OpenAI.
Yeah. Wasn't it like $10 billion they put into OpenAI or something? I forget the number.
Crazy.
Something big.
Something absolutely crazy. So the very existence of OpenAI, the very reason we have ChatGPT, the very reason of the entire basically AI revolution happening when it did is because of Microsoft putting faith in OpenAI and Sam Altman, which makes it even more interesting that Sam Altman gets kicked out of OpenAI just to be picked up by Microsoft. It's like Microsoft
shaking the dirt off or something.
Well, it's like Microsoft fired him from OpenAI and then hired him like straight to Microsoft.
Yeah, took away the obstacles. There's probably too much stuff in the way for what Sam ultimately wanted to do, or Microsoft wanted to do with Sam, or something.
I think maybe there might be some control issues with this too. Yeah. They have the power to kick him out of OpenAI, but then to turn around and hire him again in another place. I mean, there's some very strange sort of corporate shenanigans going on here.
Give me 1 second here. I got to fill up some apple juice.
Yeah. So here we go. The process through which you determined Sam Altman and removed Greg Brockman from the board has jeopardized all of this work and undermined our mission and company, the letter reads. Your conduct has made it clear you did not have the competence to oversee AI. 600 employees. The board kicks out Sam. 600 employees sign a letter saying that they want the board to resign. The entire corporate structure is like imploding here.
I really think this was the case of a couple people, so here's the thing. I was listening in to one of these Twitter, or I guess X spaces, where Balaji, who talked about the network state, and a bunch of sort of Silicon Valley tech people were in there talking about this situation. And that's where I actually was in the spaces when the Sam Altman signs with Microsoft story broke, or the tweet came out or whatever from the CEO of Microsoft. But they were talking about how they called them the doomers. And they were saying that the progressive left influence in Silicon Valley has created an unrealistic fear of AI that is way overblown. And part of the conflict from within was, and this is anecdotal from the people that are in Silicon Valley talking about these things. I don't know if this is true, but they were mentioning how some of these people at the top in the board, they were super cautious about AI. Like, oh my gosh, we got to be careful. We can kill everybody with AI.
Yeah, which was kind of the spirit of the OpenAI nonprofit in the first place.
Right. But in reality, what Sam Altman wanted to do was continue to push the limits and release things to the public so that people can kind of play with it and work with it and make it more of a collaborative societal effort or whatever. And
keep open source.
Or keep it open. So open AI, open, everything's open, but it's not, it's all closed, but, and so those differences, became too big, and therefore, get Sam out of here. But then obviously, it seems the people anyway that are involved in the company, at least 600 employees, were in agreement with Sam Altman. And this actually, now that Microsoft has done this and has picked up Sam Altman, and I think they picked up Greg Brockman, the co-founder.
Right.
So they got both. They got the top two guys. I am sure there's going to be a drain from OpenAI to this new, whatever this new thing is going to be called. I don't know if it's just going to be called Microsoft or Bing AI or something. I don't know. But that will take place. It's OpenAI. Emmett Shear, the former chief executive of Twitch, has replaced Mira Murati as interim chief of board. So, Twitch not having the greatest track record with stuff either. But it's interesting. There's this is almost like a tech Silicon Valley turnover from like a progressive sentiment to more of the libertarian open source sentiment. And I'm not saying Sam is, the tip of the spear. That obviously WorldCoin, Microsoft, these people aren't necessarily in for the interest of the people, but that's like the way it's being framed. And I find that very interesting. And of course, Basil, you pointed out the $50 billion that Microsoft
so here's a big thing. I think Elon may have mentioned this or something. Yeah. Here's a very interesting part of it. So remember, Microsoft, Sam Altman starts OpenAI. Microsoft invests like $10 billion in OpenAI, sort of unofficially becoming Sam Altman's boss. I mean, they're the shareholders. And then OpenAI kicks out Sam Altman. Was it at the behest of Microsoft or not? I mean, technically, the board of a corporation is fiduciarily responsible to take care of the shareholders. And in this case, Microsoft is the shareholders. Yeah. So in one way or another, Microsoft is responsible for firing Sam Altman and then hiring
It's like they needed to purify him in the fire or something. It's like a weird ritual of
moving him over. Maybe they asked him to move over, but he didn't want to. So this was a way to force him. Who knows? But something very interesting going on at Microsoft that came out a few days ago is coming from semianalysis.com. Microsoft infrastructure, AI and CPU custom silicon Maya 100. There's a lot. Microsoft is currently conducting the largest infrastructure build-out that humanity has ever seen. Well, that may seem like hyperbole.
That's the kind of thing that makes Elon's blood boil. Like, I have to be the one.
I'm the biggest boy. Bill Gates not big boy. I'm big boy. Microsoft is currently conducting the largest infrastructure build-out that humanity has ever seen. While that may seem like hyperbole, look at the annual spend of mega projects such as nationwide rail networks, dams, or even space programs as the Apollo moon landings. And they all pale in comparison to the more than $50 billion annual spend on data centers Microsoft has penned for 2024 and beyond. This infrastructure build-out is aimed squarely at accelerating the path to AGI, artificial general intelligence, and bringing the intelligence of generative AI to every facet of life, from productivity applications to leisure. Yeah. So calling this infrastructure is the most fascinating and also predictable thing to think about. Yeah. $50 billion from a private corporation. I guess it's a public corporation, but $50 billion from a corporation making the largest investment in human infrastructure in the history of mankind. And what is it? It's data centers to house the AI that will control the entire world. While the majority of AI infrastructure is going to be going based on NVIDIA's GPUs in the medium term, there is significant effort to diversify to both other silicon vendors and internally develop silicon. We detailed Microsoft's ambitious plan with, then they talk about a bunch of hardware stuff.
Yeah. Didn't it recently come out that Microsoft was actually buying hardware parts from Apple like early on because Apple had the
there's
monopoly?
A lot of kind of twists and turns to their hardware. Yeah. To their hardware thing. And actually much of this article is specifically about that. Okay. It gets into some very technical stuff. But think about human infrastructure. You've got power plants, dams, roads, trains, whatever, wind farms now, the infrastructure that allows for human civilization. This is the biggest investment in human history, and it's not going to the food chain. It's not going to energy production. It's not going to any of the, rebuilding our bridges or roads or whatever. No. That's job. What Microsoft is doing is building the infrastructure for the technocratic utopia beast system.
The metaverse.
I mean, just straight up. Yeah, it could include the metaverse. But they are specifically building it with AGI in mind, which is not AI.
Yeah.
There's AI now, which is kind of,
glorified
ranges from
search engine. Yeah.
entertaining to silly.
Yeah.
But AGI, that's when you start talking about like
Sentience.
a sentient computer.
Right. Yeah, and we've discussed those nuances for years. But this is why I think that, you make fun of me for saying that everything's going to be tokenized. I think this is why. In a world where like these organizations have all the servers, or at least, a majority of the infrastructure, the only way it can happen is if there is some kind of fail proof for these AIs to be able to handle like what is an actual digital item that is, or not. There's no way to verify that unless you have some kind of, dare I say it, blockchain system behind it, some kind of fungible or non-fungible system behind it.
I don't want to get into the details of the blockchain thing, but I mean, not really for Microsoft. If it's a centralized company, a one world corporate government, if you will, controlling all the AI in the world, there is no need for a blockchain. Now, hopefully,
I
there are
disagree with
blockchain versions of this
Yeah.
that, are a little bit more people-minded and liberty-minded.
Well, that's my point, that when these companies do create the crypto blockchain, all that stuff in a centralized manner, that is the dystopia. It's the technology is two-sided in terms of, hey, it can be used for good or it can be used for very bad if it's a closed system. And that's where I want to bring this conversation to that patent, the good old patent that we talked about a few years ago. Yep. I'll help you in a second, buddy. I know. Oh, jeez.
And that good old patent. Now, I'll bring up first, we have Sam Altman. He is still running WorldCoin.
Yes.
WorldCoin, that evil company that makes members of the third world or developing nations stare into a shining silver orb that then scans their retinas and captures their biometrics and then receive a cryptocurrency that was invented simply to coax people into giving up their metric information, the one that will be floating down the street looking for aimless passerbys who want to give up their very soul to the beast system. That WorldCoin.
Yeah, 2,464,198 unique humans on WorldCoin, apparently.
Under the orb.
So where are they going to store all this data? Well, it would make sense that Microsoft is behind that. But the patent W02020060606A1, which was I think it was published in 2019 here. It is a
Microsoft patent.
Yes, a Microsoft patent, cryptocurrency system using body activity data. And basically what it is taking your biometrics, so you get all plugged in or whatever, you get on a treadmill and you take that biometric energy or the information of that energy that you burn or whatever, and it mines crypto, because crypto, or at least with proof of work type of cryptocurrencies, which Bitcoin is, you need to burn energy. That's basically sort of the system. So a similar fashion,
even just down to kinetic or thermal energy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And he's talked about, Bill Gates specifically has talked about, making clothes with the silver nanoparticles that when you swing your arm or pick up a cup, it actually generates and creates energy to power the sensors that are recording your every move, your literal every move, your every heartbeat, and then tokenizing that, turning that into cryptocurrency. It's just literally robots mining the humans for currency.
Well, yeah, it's close to Mark of the Beast type of stuff, because you talk about biometric sensors and you can't buy. If it gets to the point where you cannot participate in some kind of future economy unless you have your biometrics tied in and your participating in the system, in the decentralization.
You're not a real verified human unless you're, you know.
But what's interesting, because it would be these central authorities enforcing a decentralization inside of a larger fenced centralized community or something. I don't know. I need a diagram. Very good. That's very nice. Good job.
Cool fire truck.
Yeah. Kids are thirsty now. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's sort of the thing that no one's talking about is the WorldCoin and this patent in conjunction to the Sam Altman story. I'm sure it'll pick up steam at some point, and the truther world will be like, the WorldCoin and that patent. Somebody will pick it up.
The closer that Sam Altman gets to Bill Gates, the closer Sam Altman's WorldCoin gets to Microsoft, with Microsoft's $50 billion infrastructure to house the AI that will control the world. The closer they get together, the closer we all get to finally bowing down to the orb and having your very soul stored in the computer, or else you cannot be a verified human. You are a bio blob.
Yeah, you're not a real
human.
Yeah, it's like being kind of like being off grid, or just not part of if you don't have a social security number, but way worse.
You don't exist.
Yeah, you don't exist if you don't have a social security number. It'll be very similar.
It's almost cartoonish.
It is.
It's almost cartoonish how close the world is right now to the wild ramblings of
a couple podcasters,
conspiracy theorists recording their first podcast in 2012 all about transhumanism and the beast system. Over 10 years ago, we are now sitting at the precipice of not only the technology existing, but the personalities becoming intertwined with each other in order to fully incentivize a population to sort of surrender to this new system.
There is and I mentioned it before, there is I don't know if it's a proposal, or I think they might already have it on the Ethereum blockchain. There's a project or some smart contract that allows for like a one-for-one personal identity. It's kind of like an NFT, but it's made for personal identity, and it's called Soulbound.
Perfect.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, they're already thinking in those terms. Why would you even call it that? That's a horrible name if you want to get people to jump on board. Yeah, bound your soul on the Ethereum blockchain, everybody.
Yeah, well, those without eyes to see.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Sound pretty good.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Make sure your identity is verified. Otherwise, you can't participate. So, all right. Well, let's spend some time. Yeah. What? For me? Oh, thank
Persistence.
you. Yes.
Persistence
dirty
is
napkins.
What this kid is learning.
Thanking producers for coming in with their talent. It helps us build the culture behind the community. What do you want, buddy?
Here's what I'm curious about. Get this kid some water. Get this kid some recycled Bill Gates sewer water.
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff. I got a little sack
you
here.
You got your emergency juice box?
No juice
in
pack.
In a holster on your side?
Yeah, we got a little snack.
Daddy gone, slinging the goldfish and the apple juice. Quick draw McGrons, they call them.
Why don't you go inside? You can go inside and grab it yourself.
No screaming baby with needs beyond comprehension stands a chance to Daddy Gons.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Producers coming in with their talent. It helps us build the culture behind the community here. And obviously, as you can tell, the culture is very fun. It's loose. We have a good time here. And the producers reflect that. Now we're going to start off with some speak pipe or a speak pipe from somebody here.
We got voicemails, folks.
Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message, beep.
Message.
Go to canarycrynewstalk.com. On any of the pages on the website, look for a green tab on the right side or the bottom. Click on it, and it'll open a little box that says, send a voice message to Basil and Gons. And you can hit the button there that says start recording on your device, and you can record a message of up to 90 seconds. And we'll play it for the community if that is what you would like to do, or if it's a private message, let us know at the top so that we don't accidentally play private messages on air. We also like all the pre-show prayers. If you send in a prayer for the community, we'll play that before the show as well. We have something here today from SGED. That's Silly Goose Elder Dave.
Hi, yous guys. SGLD here.
SGLD.
With a short rant for today. Why do people say, etc., etc., etc.? Isn't one etc. enough? Why do we got to be etc.ing all over the place? And now I'd like to favor you with a short ode. Something that Ed Norton favored Ralph Cramden with on the Honeymooners when he worked in the sewer back in the 50s. When the tides of life turn against you and the current upsets your boat, don't waste those tears on what might have been. Just lay on your back and float. All right. God love you. I love you. And listen, you guys, have a nice day.
The wisdom flows.
Yeah.
Wisdom flows from the silly goose Elder Dave down to the rest of us who cannot help but benefit from such experience and knowledge. Thank you, silly goose.
I often wonder, with the older generation, how good they would be at social media and the meme game and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a different time, just a few years difference, but anyway. Good job there, Silly Goose Elder Dave. Thank you very much. Okay, we have some art, I believe. We have an audio production piece to share to start.
Audio production.
And it's from Jonathan F.
Jonathan F.
And Jonathan F. And by the way, if you're a new listener and you're confused because there's jingles and introduction jingles, and they're usually from people that have been around for a while, and somebody else made a jingle, like a title jingle for them. So it's not that, we're just making jingles for people because we want to. It's people that are doing it in the community. So it's a cool thing. It's not something we're doing like as in me and you, Basil. It's a communal thing.
Those who produce on a regular basis and become valuable to the community, they start being immortalized in jingles and artwork by the other producers.
Yeah. This first one, I did want to play this actually at the beginning of the show. Prior to editing the episode, we were going to talk about Elon Musk and SpaceX and the Starship that exploded. It hit the firmament, Basil. And to memorialize that, Jonathan F. has this piece here.
One of you rolling out there every day, crashing the glass ceiling explosion?
Oh, they've had this here glass ceiling.
Rockets.
Explosion?
Someone could be dying.
You ever hear the boom of a glass ceiling?
Rocket.
Explosion?
Ooh,
I like
that's
it.
fun.
Yeah, it's a good explosion.
Man, oh man, can I hear those vocals too? Love it.
Yeah, very well done. Thank you very much, Jonathan F. And yeah, the whole story with the Starship and it exploding, and my timeline was on my X account was filled with #firmament, and they must know what I'm interested in or something, because I saw those montage videos and I was like, we live in there's a firmament up there, Basil. It got all my cosmology blood flowing again. But thank you very much, Jonathan F., for that one. He also sent a second piece here. I believe he fixed the Executive Master shill with louder vocals.
Executive illuminated master shill.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
Much clearer.
Much
Thank you very
better.
much
Love
for
it.
that. me just make sure I have that ready to go before it's too late. Okay. We got one more here from Jomes. It's nice to hear from Jomes. And Jomes sent in, hold on, I thought I had this ready to go. Apparently it got misplaced. He had a note. Bebe Shimura sings to the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ, episode 689. I have the audio clip here. He just isolated something.
Of God in the face of Jesus Christ. For God.
As if you don't get enough of my son screaming in the background live on the episode. We have clips of him screaming in the background.
I love it. That makes nothing but sense. We need to start clipping the baby more and make a whole screaming baby sort of auto-tune tribute song.
Oh, we could. Yeah, that would be great. Maybe I can get him to say some things into the mic, and off you go, producers, with the pitch shifter. All right. We're going to move on to some art production.
One art, please.
We'll kick it off with Sir Dove, Knight of Rusbeltia.
One art piece from Dove.
Is a note that says, peace. For today's or this week's Bible artwork, I did an illustration for Genesis 50:20. As for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for yins. Dove.
Yeehaw. Thank you very much, Sir Dove. We've got a great piece of the series of Bible artwork he's putting together. We've got a beautiful stone wall background, and in some pretty attractive sort of a little bit of like a flowy, maybe Grateful Dead type of
I was going to say 70s
font
style with a thick drop shadow.
Yeah. With the font being sort of filled in, colored in with some beautiful purple and yellow flowers. Very striking image here. It says, but God.
Yeah, it's very bold. I like it. I like it's bold yet soft with the flowers. Very well done. Thank you very much, Sir Dove. Appreciate that. I didn't see a microfiction from Runk Smash, but I know there's one from Stefan S. It's actually his 100th microfiction, Basil.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah,
okay, that's good.
So let's.
We also had a microfiction sent into the email.
Yes, we did. We have
which
3
it's
actually.
Just by the stroke of luck that we got the email microfiction, because microfiction should be uploaded to canarycry.art.
Yes.
For guaranteed inclusion. So we did happen to see this one.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Runk Smash did not send one in, so we can use the Runk Smash music for the bed for Anon's microfiction. But
that's up to you.
Okay. Let's start with Stefan S's though. Are you okay with that?
Oh yeah. Microfiction.
Time. Microfiction.
The 5th generation warfare malinformation corkboard in Chief's office supports a web of red thread and post-it notes. In one corner, a few read CCNT, TSM, TISTF, KJ, Corbett, AJ, Stu, MZ, and Dr. R. A set of darts selects the next target. This is in regards to a article here he has from News Channel 5, headline, Defeated Franklin mayor candidate Gabriel Hansen doesn't see defeat, imagines conspiracy instead. Yes, of course. We covered this a few episodes ago. But who knows? Who's to say it isn't? Get out the red yarn, my friends.
Yeah, get our red yarn and supply drop.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Stefan S. And here's the microfiction from Anon. There we go.
In the dark grove, 2 men are hiding, cloaked by moonless night. They are watching a ritual being performed by masked figures. The young apprentice asks his companion, "What is going on over there, Dr. Jones?" Dr. Jones lifts his gaze of a war-hardened goblin. "They're opening the abyss," he says.
Was that your Alex Jones?
It was my attempt. I think I blew out my waveform over here.
I think Alex he's a little more guttural, isn't he? Like a little.
Hey. I don't need any advice from you, Gons, on how to read the microfiction. There's also a PS here. Somebody please make a movie poster for Dr. Jones and the Secret of the Super Male Vitality Supplements. That's very funny.
Very good. Thank you very much, Anon. And yeah, we usually accept the microfiction through canarycry.art as the portal there. You can go there, canarycry.art, if you have any art you would like to submit.
Do it. Somebody's been out there. They've been thinking about it. They're like, oh, that might be fun to do someday. And they're just not doing it. They've been thinking about it probably for like 50 to 100 episodes. But, maybe it's a mixture between, there's lots of reasons why you can't take the time. There's other people doing art. They won't miss my art. They don't even know that I'm thinking about doing it. I see you. I know who you are. Just do it. Just create something for the show. Send it in. Your time is now. Life is short. The world needs you. Make your art. Send it to us by going to canarycry.art, and you can upload all your art there.
Sorry, I got some really restless children.
No,
really
it's
good
okay.
today.
No need to explain. We know.
Yep. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Let's quickly do the
back to the show.
The most important story of the day, of course.
Watch.
Whoa, what's going on? Ooh, is this microfiction music still playing? Wow, that's weird. All right, here we go.
Nice.
Yeah, here we go.
Did you ever have the feeling that you were being watched?
We'll control them with toileting.
Toilets! Toilets! Toilets!
And Bill Gates.
We're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein. Right into the vein. The super painful.
This is coming from HindustanTimes.com. A few other outlets had it. Headline: Bill Gates goes inside sewer to explore hidden history of Brussels on. Hold on, let me do this correctly. On, let's see. World Toilet Day. Oh, I can't. I got to turn it off. There we go. Yes, it was World Toilet Day yesterday. Yeah,
how did we miss that? I don't know. Well, it was World Toilet Day.
Well, we wouldn't have known unless Bill Gates told us and made a whole Instagram video.
Good.
And
by the way,
yes.
By the way, if somebody's new to the show,
yeah, okay, yeah,
I want them to know this. If we're remembered for nothing else, Gons, we identified the advent of sewer surveillance early on in the pandemic. In fact, I think we had covered it even before the pandemic, but we really saw it take hold in center stage way before it was a popular thing to talk about. Nobody took it seriously. Yeah. They thought it was too blue to talk about. Everybody's so busy trying to talk about, I don't know, just other stuff going on during the global pandemic. There is no time for such a silly thing, such as sewer surveillance. And recently, and we have always covered it, but recently it's gone so far as like the United Nations and the World Health Organization making like official sewer surveillance bureaucracies and putting billions of dollars towards it to integrate sewer surveillance into the new world order panopticon
list of agendas. Yes, spoke on the flywheel there.
Yeah,
sewer surveillance. Yeah, if you want to read the article, Basil, I will play the video in the background that he posted on Instagram. This is Bill Gates posting on Instagram. And he said, I explored the hidden history of Brussels' sewage system and the role of wastewater in global health for this year's World Toilet Day. And the video starts off with Bill Gates in the ground, in what are these things called?
Disappearing into the sewer.
Yeah, he's going down into the sewer.
He's like Ninja Turtling down.
He went 30 feet down into the sewer. Yes, buddy. Yes. Yeah, yep. Amazing colors, buddy.
The world-weary father.
Gosh, you should see the gray hairs coming in. It's unbelievable. Okay, so he's going through here. He goes through the whole museum. There's a museum on the history. There's a picture of the rider, a death riding a black horse that led to the horrible cholera epidemics. Cholera, sorry. And there's some other interesting things here. There's a picture of a spider. They show some of the water, the 200-mile network that exists under Brussels. They talk to the Diana Olarts, who's the Brussels Sewer Museum curator lady. Then Bill's walking around. He's looking at all this stuff. There's no sound worth playing on this because it's just like, background music. And I don't think Bill ever speaks in this. So he's looking around. There is a part in here that I thought was very interesting. It says scientists test wastewater for COVID, polio, and other diseases. And there's a video of Bill. He's in the dungeons. It looks like in the underground. There, he shakes hands with the doctor. He's got his white coat on, and Bill puts his white coat on. He's got some gloves on, and
he puts on the vestments.
The vestments, yes, the holy sacrament.
Scientism.
Yes, and don't forget the goggles. And he takes a sample of wastewater. He's doing the thing, Basil, the thing that he's got a camera in the bottle, very cinematic.
Wow.
And the thing that we have been talking about forever, he's doing it. And
he's doing it personally.
Personally, there's a caption, "This work helps prevent future pandemics."
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So look at him. Look at Bill helping prevent future pandemics by taking a sample of wastewater in Brussels.
Bill has long made it a habit to get down and dirty and personally explore his fascination with human
like his dirty
waste.
jobs. This is his dirty jobs episode.
Of course, we had the video for a Bill Gates project to filter fresh water out of human waste, and not just pee-pee, folks, all of it. And to prove that this was a groundbreaking project, he allegedly, on camera, pours a glass of water from his poo-poo system and drinks it right in front of us with sort of a perverted glee about him. And now we have him descending into the depths, putting on the vestments of the poo-poo priest, and really getting down and dirty in order to progress the agenda of surveillance in every part of our life. You thought that leaving your phone out of the bathroom while you sit and do your business, you thought that was protecting you from all the spying and surveillance. But no. Even there is no corner of your life that is not at least in the targets, in the reticle of Bill Gates's desires to spy on you. It's really quite impressive. But you know what? He's got hustle. I'll give that to him.
He's got hustle. Yeah, you're right. He does
hustle.
Have hustle. Well, and that's the part that, just to kind of land this, and obviously you can make all the jokes about all this and everything else. But I did tag the article, Basil, right there in the show notes. It's from The Guardian. And the headline here is 12 billionaires' climate emissions out-pollute 2.1 million homes, analysis finds.
Yeah.
And Bill Gates is listed as, what's interesting? We had, during COVID, we had the, what was it called? Like the Dirty Dozen or something like that. The Disinfo Dozen, right? And now we're starting to get these numbers like this, 12 billionaires, like the dirty dozen of billionaires who are polluting the climate. And I'm wondering if this is part of the Great Reset where they take down, quote unquote, these billionaires and they redistribute, quote unquote, the wealth, based on the technology that they built. That kind of thing, where it's not that they get to benefit, it's that we all get to benefit from their selfish tech endeavors or something, Well,
the thing I love about this list is 12 people, and it has a little progress bar on how much they pollute based on their lifestyle.
Yeah.
And Bill Gates has previously been criticized for being a big polluter, but he says, hey, yeah, of course I'm flying private everywhere around the world every single day.
Don't you want me to help?
Would you rather I don't do that and not save the Earth from climate change? I'm killing the Earth in order to save the Earth. Anybody who criticizes me, they don't know what they are talking about. But the graphic shows, in first spot is Carlos Slim, which that's weird. That's the guy who funded what was it? The recent movie about the child trafficking.
Oh, the one with the guy really popular?
Yeah.
I forget the
Freedom,
name of that
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Yes.
He was the executive. I don't know if he was listed as executive producer, but he was funded that movie, Carlos Slim. So, okay, interesting.
Really? I thought he was
number 2.
Isn't he a telecommunications guy? I thought he was like a big
Mexican
mogul.
Billionaire.
Yeah, okay.
Number 2 is Bill Gates.
Hey, there he is.
Who's really not very far behind.
Yeah.
Carlos Slim. On this chart thing, you've got Carlos Slim that goes out about 8/10 of the width of the chart. You've got Bill Gates, which is about 7/10 of the chart. And the next person after Bill Gates is Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos has about 1/5 of the pollution of Bill
he's
Gates.
under 2, which I don't know what, millions. And the bar on top is
it's just a
the
very
tons
short
and millions.
line.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom, you've got Elon Musk, of course, the right-wing extremist,
Anti-Semitic
Nazi
devil,
sympathizer, bad boy. His little line of pollution is literally, I think, about 1/50th of the pollution that Bill Gates is putting out. So it's not hypocrisy, it's hierarchy, Gons. Listen to your resident Marxists. They know what they're talking about. Just because Elon is saving the world better than Bill Gates doesn't mean that Bill Gates can destroy the Earth at the same time that he's saving it. Okay.
The gender ratio is pretty off here. This is 1:11 gender ratio. Lauren Powell's the only one, and she's got the smallest sliver on the chart there. That's sexist. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is anything. It's just funny how it's fascinating. We talked about the rise of the right wing and sort of the populist movement, and I'm just very interested to see how we may move away from corporatism and sort of the way we've seen progressive movements pick up on it and abuse it in the last couple decades. But we might see privatization of a lot of things, which has its good and bad side of it. And that's where I'm kind of keeping my eye on things, where all these billionaires spend their money and build things. And then how do private corporations, companies' interests play a role in how things get distributed over time here? And that'll be the thing to watch, especially if, because, I don't know. I don't want to get into it too much, but you can argue, whoa.
Oh, we've got exciting things happening.
Okay,
in
just saved him from
Samurai
completely
Land.
falling off his chair. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, I think it's
kids
time.
got to get a bunk or two.
Yeah, that's normal.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to this
Okay, no
episode of
screaming,
Canary
no
Cry
screaming,
News
please.
Talk.
Come on.
We're gonna go ahead and let you go. I'm gonna let you go. But a couple things. Thanksgiving schedule. There will be streams and episodes on Wednesday the 22nd and Friday the 24th. They will not be traditional Canary Cry News Talk episodes, but we will have some great stuff streaming on those 2 days. So everybody have a wonderful Thanksgiving with the family. Try not to get in too big a screaming matches. And while you're there, instead of arguing with your liberal aunt, why don't you just go ahead and share the show with Aunt Sharon? We'll get to that in a second. Few quick thank yous, starting with the Clippies.
I'm getting there. Sorry. Hang on.
Maybe I should start screaming.
Clipping all those videos. Thanks.
Yep. Thank you to the Clippies. Go follow the Canary Cry Clips channel on YouTube and Odyssey. Thank you very much. And the clipping is only possible thanks to the timestampers.
Timestamp, it's hard work. Timestamp.
That's right, the timestampers, very important members of the community around here. They might be the hardest working producers of the show, and for that, we thank them very much. They are creating the timestamps, sometimes live during the show. It goes into so much of our back-end processes. If this appeals to anybody to get involved with the timestamping, it is an invaluable way that you can put value back into the show. And if you're watching live anyways, hey, easy peasy. All right. I want to thank Jade Bouncerson for doing the timestamps for episode 690. I have had a hard time saying real words today, but thank you to Jade Bouncerson for all your hard work. Thank you to Jam for the links. Thank you to Clank for clanking. And other than that, folks, share the show. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with the turkey. Share it with the taters. Share it with the bounty that the Lord has brought to this country and your family. This Thanksgiving, folks, there's lots of ways to share the show. Of course, you're going to mention it. Of course, you're going to put QR codes that lead to Canary Cry News Talk on the centerpiece at Thanksgiving dinner. Of course, you're going to go around. You're going to steal quietly, surreptitiously, steal your family and friends' phones. Unlock it using their face recognition setup, because of course they use that. And then go ahead and subscribe them to Canary Cry News Talk and just download the episodes for them. Set a reminder, set an alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning while they're fast asleep, letting the turkey take them away to Dancing with Sugar Plums or whatever. And then at 3 in the morning, softly, yet with authority, Canary Cry News Talk starts to play in the middle of the night. And in their dreams, they come to realizations they never could have in the waking world. And that is that the mainstream legacy news corporations do not have their best interests at heart. And Canary Cry News Talk, frankly, does. They then fall in love. They then pursue the podcast almost out of instinct for the rest of their lives. And then they produce the show because they get value that they could not get in any other way. That's just one way to share the show. You can share the show however you want, but that's just a good way to do it if you're so inclined. Other than that, we call it rattling cages. If you needed some sort of clever way of describing sharing a podcast, we call it rattling cages. And all you got to do is walk right up to them, grab them by the cage, and then you shake.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Any last words, Gons?
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Excuse me. Have a great week. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Ah! All right. I'm going to go now. Goodbye.
Okay. Remember, tune in on Wednesday and Friday. There will be stuff to enjoy, and we hope you do. We think you will. But until then, think outside the cage.
Do it!
We're all gonna die.
Do not come back, you Nazi psychopaths!
This is the United States of America, for God's sake.
Toilets! Toilets!
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people zoo.
This is the way.
We're all gonna die.
Feed him more.
I love the Great Reset.
on the way.
Remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Buy!
I cry to the Lord with my voice, and to the Lord did I make my supplication. My spirit was it's never me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. Refuge failed me. No one cared for my soul. I cried unto thee, oh Lord. I said, thou art my refuge and my portion, in the land of the living. Tend unto my cry, for I am grown weary, Lord. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I may praise thy name. Righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me.
take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Canary, cry, that's support.